Pinehurst No. 2, June 21st, 1999. Wind combs the longleaf pines. Thousands lean forward as if a stadium could inhale. One man in +4s stares at 15 feet of green that will decide career, legacy, and myth. 15 feet of fame. An eternity of silence. Payne Stewart sets the putter behind the ball. To his left, Phil Mickelson waits, a new father-in-waiting with a muted pager and a promise to walk if it buzzes. To his right, a course that does not care for promises, a chess problem built by Donald Ross where edges are porcelain and misses funnel like gravity. Right edge, dying speed. The ball tips, disappears, fist punch, front leg frozen. An image becomes both pulse and monument. To understand why that putt still echoes, you need the pressure system of golf in 1999. Tiger Woods is accelerating the sport. Fitness and force change the physics. Phil Mickelson is artistry without coronation. The US Open is the exam that punishes exuberance. Pinehurst No. 2 is not target golf, it is translation. Greens crowned like shields. Little rough guarding misses. A foot wide can be 10 yards long as the ball leaks off the domes into collection areas that turn par into probability math. In this climate, a man many had dismissed as costume over content steps back into the light. Stewart, the +4s, the Tam O'Shanter cap, the pure strike. 2 majors in the bank, but years of doubt in the middle. The charge is simple. Great theater, inconsistent substance. The rebuttal will be 72 holes of decisions. Start further back. Missouri, 1957. Father, a club pro. Mother, a metronome of steadiness. The boy learns posture before swagger. He's not the prodigy anointed by national headlines. He's the grinder who stacks small edges. Mini tours, Q school, shared rooms, fast food, tight lies. He learns that trouble isn't avoided so much as priced and then paid. One early scene becomes an operating system. Leading late, he takes on a tucked flag, short sides himself, makes double, wins anyway. The lesson bites both ways. Risk rewarded feels like truth. Truth becomes habit if unchecked. The resume fills. PGA Championship 1989 at Kemper Lakes, a comeback that tastes like absolution. US Open 1991 at Hazeltine, control and patience against a course that asks for neither. Then the mid-90s, swing changes, second guessing, a run of weekends that never quite arrive. Cameras track the clothes before the club face. The brand threatens to eat the player. If there's a pivot, it's quiet. Less talk, more craft. Spin control becomes religion. He drills start lines on chalk. He rehearses speed windows until the brain trusts distance like muscle memory. He builds an arsenal of trajectories. Flight it down to pierce crosswinds, float it high to land soft on firm caps, bleed a fade to stall against back left flags, knock a draw into right pins to ride a contour. He's not adding miles per hour. He's shaving degrees and RPM. Arrive at Pinehurst. Thursday and Friday are calibration. Saturday is posture. Sunday is verdict. The course offers almost no birdie fireworks. It offers control points. You win by avoiding cascades. Front 9, Stewart holds shape. The crowd reads calm as inevitability. Pinehurst reads calm as bait. A shaky swing here, an aggressive line there, and the slope wakes. Middle holes. A bogey that could be worse, a par that could be worse, a heartbeat of uncertainty. Then 16. The swing leaks. The leave is ugly. The collection area is not a hazard by name, only by effect. He chooses the shot that loses the least, a safe pitch to the fat of the green, 2-putt bogey. It looks like surrender. It is control. On 17, the optical lie. The smart side funnels away. The flag is set to tempt doubt. He picks a conservative start line that only works if spin matches landing point. It holds. Paragraph. That sets 18. Fairway found. Approach not perfect. The crown pulls away. The leave is that 15 feet that carry more air than grass. Everything about Pinehurst says the same thing in different accents. Pace first. A firm stroke past the hole dies on the wrong side of history. A timid stroke never climbs. Right edge, dying speed. He trusts the model he built in quiet practice, not the adrenaline of the amphitheater. The ball falls. The pose freezes. The sound is a detonation, then a shape. He turns to Mickelson and says what the moment requires. "You're going to be a great dad." The remark isn't PR, it's orientation. Competition is temporary. Composure isn't. That line echoes into September. Ryder Cup 1999, Brookline. The week runs hot. Etiquette bends. In his singles with Colin Montgomery, Stewart makes a public choice. Concede at the end, cool the boil, let adults be adults. People who wanted a villain miss the point. His edge isn't noise, it's selection. He weaponizes restraint. And then, the silence. October 25th, 1999, a Learjet 35 departs. Radio goes unanswered. The plane climbs and keeps climbing. The hypothesis hardens. Depressurization, hypoxia, everyone on board unresponsive. For hours, the aircraft draws a line across the map, a quiet geometry that no one on the ground can interrupt. Fuel turns theory to conclusion over South Dakota. Impact, no survivors. The last loud syllable of Stewart's life is that pose at Pinehurst, suspended midair, then sealed by an absence too stark for the usual sports narrative. Why does that single putt carry a generation later? Start with mechanics. Pinehurst domes make speed the grammar. If line is letter and break is syntax, pace is the language. Stewart on 18 chooses the shot with the highest expected value for that surface. Inner right start line with decaying velocity that lets gravity finish what the stroke begins. That isn't romantic, that's math. Add character. The man misread as a wardrobe becomes under pressure a technician and a steward. Two words that sound like his name and fit his game. Then impermanence. 4 months after the pose, the game loses a counterweight to raw power. The image becomes a ledger entry, not a poster. One life, tallied in decisions. For the US Open, Pinehurst 1999 resets the thesis. You don't bludgeon domed targets. You aim margins and manage outcomes. The course is a test of architecture literacy. Understand how a contour wants to move a ball. Use wind as co-author. Choose flights that marry intent and miss. On weeks like that, nerve and knowledge outweigh horsepower. Stewart didn't just keep up with an era trending stronger. He showed the bypass, control the parts that noise can't reach. Careers bend around afternoons like this. Mickelson leaves with a loss and something better than a consolation, proof that his process holds under the worst kind of pressure. The near miss becomes a chord in his arc, resolved in 2004 at Augusta but written here. Tiger still redefines dominance, but Pinehurst insists on plurality. There is more than one way to dictate a landscape. A generation of players will study the film and find not swagger but systems. Rehearsal, selection, measured risk, precise miss. Return to the round and slow it further. Watch the pre-shot on 18. The eyes scan the high ridge behind the cup, then the low fall off. The putter sits a beat longer than usual. This is not superstition. It's buffer time to settle the speed map in the brain. Start soft, hold low, let gravity do the turn, listen to the strike. It isn't popped, it's carried. A ball launched with end-over-end clarity that will not fight when the slope calls it right. The crowd screams at the halfway mark. The ball doesn't care, it respects the plan. The last rotation is almost an afterthought, then noise, then release. People love the clothes, the +4s, the socks, the cap. It all photographs. What rarely makes the clip is the friction behind it, a stubborn mind engineering outcomes in a world that looks chaotic. Caddies later say the quiet part out loud. The question wasn't line, it was pace. Coaches call it an arsenal of trajectories, tools chosen like a carpenter who knows which wood forgives chisel marks. Peers strip it down further. Most saw the outfit. The ones who count saw choices. The tragedy resists narrative. The flight's last hours produce data, not meaning. Maybe that's the right frame for Stewart. He trusted procedures, routine, breath, target stroke. If you want to honor him, model the habit. Control what you can. Choose the miss. Respect the course, not the gallery. The rest is outside the ropes. Zoom the camera back over Pinehurst. The 18th green is a shallow bowl turned upside down. From TV angles, it reads flat. From on-site, it's not. You can see why the safe side isn't always safe, why a foot short can be a yard wide by the time the slope finishes its work. You can also see why the last putt needed to die instead of dash. The pose at the end is iconic for good reason, but the mind that produced it is the story. Now the unanswered question, the kind audiences turn into arguments. On June 21, 1999, was Payne Stewart the last romantic of modern golf, or the first minimalist of an era where every shot is a design decision? If you vote romantic, cite the human moments. The glance at Mickelson, the concession to Montgomery when the air ran hot. If you vote minimalist, point to the math. Right edge, decaying speed, respect for architecture over adrenaline. Drop your answer in the comments and anchor it to one shot from that Sunday that proves your case. If this deep dive gave you something to think about, subscribe to Fairway Focus, hit like, and pass it to the one person in your feed who thinks golf is only physics. This story says otherwise. It's physics with poise.